Akiho and Kaito are the last two members of the Robotics Club. Akiho is extremely passionate, always trying to revive robotics because this is a club founded by Akiho's sister 8 years ago. To keep robotics running, Akiho had to turn to a gym teacher for advice. She also enlisted the help of the lower class, Subaru, to join, but he was not interested. As for Kaito, he didn't care much about the club's dissolution, all day holding the game console or making fun of Akiho. The Robotics Club has a century-old building called Gunbuild. It's a robot based on the movie Gunbarrel, made by the club's members since robotics was founded. However, from the start until now, it has not been completed and is still stowed in an old aircraft hangar. Akiho's dream is to be able to complete this work before graduation. In order to have a budget to complete Gunbuild, Akiho asked the board of directors to approve the club's budget. However, the vice principal did not have much faith in the group's giant robot project. She gave Akiho a condition that if robotics wins the upcoming Robo 1, it will agree to fund the club, and if it loses, the club will be dissolved. Akiho is excited about that condition, but Akiho's problem is that they don't have a complete robot to participate in the Robo 1 tournament. Akiho suddenly remembers that the club still has a robot from her sister's era named Tanegashima, but because it has been stored in storage for too long, the robot cannot function. Akiho is forced to go to Doc's electronics store to find replacement parts, but she doesn't have the budget to buy components. After all, Kaito agreed with Doc that they would pay him in full after the Robo 1 tournament was over. Acquiring new components, the robot is back to work, but Akiho faces a new problem of how to control the robot. With the classic remote, Akiho couldn't control Tanegashima properly. Akiho wants Kaito to take over driving the Tanegashima, but he refuses. Trying to convince Kaito, Akiho suddenly fainted. It was a sequel of an accident. When Akiho regained consciousness, Kaito agreed to drive the robot if its control panel was like in the Kill Ballad game he used to play. Kaito suggested that they could look to Kojiro, the publisher of the Kill Ballad game, for help. Upon receiving Kaito's request, Kojiro immediately agreed and sent them the necessary programs, so Tanegashima was able to complete it in a week. With the preparations done, Akiho, Kaito and the gym teacher went to Tokyo to participate in the Robo 1 tournament. Entering the tournament, with an extremely pro level, Kaito defeated all opponents lightly, bringing Tanegashima to the finals. Here, they have to face the defending champion. Kaito suspects him to be Hidaka Subaru, an underclassman who is frequently solicited by Akiho to join the Robotics Club. As the battle began, Tanegashima was immediately completely overwhelmed. Kaito's Tanegashima was knocked down twice and only one more time will they be eliminated. In the decisive moment, Kaito delivered the decisive blow to knock both of them out of the ring. As a result, neither side won as both were out of the ring. Akiho's robotics is ordered to be disbanded. Seeing that Akiho still wanted to continue with the club, Kaito forced Subaru to confess that he was the Pleiades, and agreed to join the club. Therefore, it can be considered that the Robotics Club has won the Robo 1 championship, so it can continue to operate. Although it was not dissolved, the operating budget was still not granted. The Robo 1 prize money was withheld by the school and returned the following year, so Akiho's Robotics Club still does not have money to operate and repay the debt. While listening to Akiho's lament, Kaito suddenly received a text message from Kojiro asking him to come to the dormitory. It turns out that the creator of the Kill Ballad game is a girl named Kona. From now on she will move to this island city. The next day, Subaru suddenly came to find Kaito and asked Kaito to join him in the World Robo 1 tournament. Kaito immediately refused, but Subaru took out a game console and offered to challenge Kaito. If Subaru won, Kaito would have to follow his suggestion. After 22 matches, Subaru finally defeated Kaito, so Kaito had to join Subaru's team. 9 years ago, when Kaito and Akiho were on a yacht, a strange phenomenon occurred. Everyone on the boat suddenly fainted for unknown reasons. After that incident, Subaru and Akiho's perception of time has changed, which is also the reason why Akiho sometimes faints. One night, Kaito suddenly received a strange message that caused the machine to interfere. He saw the silhouette of a girl pass through the camera of the game console, but when he looked around, he saw no one. The next day, he was told by a classmate that this might be related to the urban legend of a female ghost. The two of them investigated for a whole day but didn't find any clues in the end. In the evening, Kaito went to the vacant lot to play a game, when he suddenly received a strange message like the day before. He went to the abandoned museum and tried to find the clue through the camera of the game console. When Kaito went to a tunnel, he suddenly heard a voice. Kaito used the camera to search around and saw a girl, which turned out to be an AI hidden inside his device. The AI claims to be Irie and claims to have been trying to contact Kaito for the past 8 years. When Kaito pressed the blue power button on Irie's forehead, it changed to a new personality called Sister Centipede. Centipede gave Kaito the password to log in to the red power button icon, which Kaito entered. It opened a secret file written 10 years ago. Kaito opened the file and it contained a report on NASA's research on the sun. It said that the sun is unstable right now and NASA already knows it. But they are still trying to find a way to hide the fact that the sun will soon explode. Akiho has recruited more Juna and Kona. His sister who sold the grocery store told him that Irie used to be a real person. She used to be friends with Misaki, Akiho's older sister. Kaito, following the clues to a research room, he guessed that this was a laboratory built by Kimijima on the island. He was told that the man had died of murder, but all other information about him had been erased. One afternoon, while everyone at the club was discussing the upcoming Robo 1 game, Subaru's father appeared. An angry grandfather gives him a punch, and it turns out that Subaru's father doesn't like giving him the job of building robots. After that day, Subaru missed school for several days, making Akiho very worried. Subaru says that from now on he will give up his passion and solve the problem with his father on his own. Thanks to the new funding, Akiho was able to pay off Doc's debt. Akiho suddenly learned that Subaru would give up his passion for robots, so he ran straight to the house. The next morning, Subaru suddenly appeared in the club's warehouse area. He said that he had disassembled the entire M45 robot in front of his father, so he will not be able to participate in the upcoming World Robo 1 tournament. However, because of Akiho's enthusiasm, he decides to help her complete gun build. Thanks to the new funding, Akiho has purchased many new components for the gun build project. The group was having a meeting when suddenly a mysterious organization appeared. The group is taken to a room with Kona. Moments later, Akiho's father appeared. Turns out, they're the JAXA organization. Through Akiho's father, they learned about the gun build project. Thanks to their performance in the Robo 1 tournament, they quite believe in robotics, so they decided to invest in Akiho to complete the project. However, Akiho ultimately refused help from JAXA because they asked her team to redesign gun build, which was designed by Akiho's sister herself, so she didn't want to change it. Kaito continues to follow the clues to investigate Kimijima's report. Kaito suddenly encountered a storm. To ensure the signal for operation, Kaito was forced to climb up the antenna tower to close the roof and protect it. Otherwise the antenna mast would be destroyed by the storm. While trying to close the dome, Kaito almost fell. But in an instant, he saw everything around him move slowly, so Kaito was able to escape death in time. He passed out in the storm. A moment later Akiho appeared and called out to Kaito. Akiho said that a girl named Irie appeared on her phone and told Kaito's location. Thanks to that, Akiho and the others were able to find Kaito in time and save his life. After that, Kaito informed Akiho of the existence of an AI named Irie. He also found Kimijima's second report. This time, Kimijima wrote in his report that there was a place called the Committee of 300 that was trying to control the world and reduce the population to 1 billion people. Kaito also informed Kona of the existence of Irie and Sister Centipede. After many efforts with everyone's help, Akiho and the Robotics Club were also able to complete the gun build robot. The next morning, a lot of people in the city gathered under the Robotics Club building. Akiho excitedly opened the loudspeaker to announce to everyone about the 9-year work of robotics. Akiho sent Kaito inside the robot to start it, but the giant robot only moved a little and froze, leaving the people extremely disappointed. After the failed attempt to start gun build, Subaru tried to simulate its operation on the emulator, which showed that gun build's blueprint was not viable and needed to be redesigned from the ground up. Meanwhile, Kaito was lying on the grass playing a game when suddenly an object fell from the sky. He checked again and found that it was an infinity magnet. This was a strange object that only existed in theory, but unexpectedly it appeared in front of Kaito. He called Subaru and Akiho to learn about this object. Akiho thinks it's possible to make a new type of motor out of infinity magnets, but Subaru says that with a single block it's impossible. Subaru advises Akiko that if you want to make gun build a reality, listen to the JAXA organization, redesign a new robot. The next morning, Akiho obeyed Subaru and led the club to the JAXA research facility. They met with JAXA representative Tanuji to discuss the gun build project. Akiho accepted to abandon the old blueprint of gun build to rebuild a new design called GUNBUILD-2. Tanuji suggested that gun build could be redesigned based on the M45 robot. They finally finished the blueprint and called it GUNBUILD-2. Akiho is determined to join the Robotics Club to complete the GUNBUILD-2 project and bring it to the World Expo event. While Akiho and Subaru plan to build GUNBUILD-2, Kaito continues to investigate Kimijima's reports, this time following Kona. They find Kimijima's third report. This time it reveals a shocking secret. The Committee of 300 is trying to plot a way to unleash solar storms to wipe out 5 billion people on Earth. This report reveals that the Committee of 300 has members from the world's major robotics corporations. Kona suddenly reveals to Kaito that her mother is the director of the Gunbarrel series. The whole film crew was suddenly found dead at home. Only Kona's mother disappeared after that event. Because of that, the final episode of the Gunbarrel movie was not published, and Kona became the daughter of the suspected murderer. Suddenly Kaito receives a message from Akiho informing about a leaked video on the internet about the final episode of Gunbarrel. The 4-minute 31-second clip depicts the scene of the sun destroying humanity exactly as reported by Kimijima. Kaito received another text message from Akiho's older sister Masaki, which was a short video recording. In the video, Masaki asks Kaito to forget everything he knew about when Kimijima was. The movie ends here. Please subscribe and hit the notification bell to watch the next videos. Thank you all.